Away from that, Ghana's fishing industry is the lifeblood of its economy. It provides livelihoods to 2 million people, that is 1 in every 16 Ghanaians. From a plow to keep 3 points, artisanal fishers supply 80% of the fish we eat. One method of processing the fish is more dangerous than all the others, according to experts. That's preservation by smoking for sale. The job falls exclusively to women, as Owusu Asiedu found when he visited the coastal Accra community of Jamestown. In this collaboration with New Narratives, the health impacts are injuring the women who do it. There's more in this report. Ghana's fishing industry is the lifeblood of the economy, providing livelihoods to 2 million people, or 1 in every 16 Ghanaians. From Aflao to Cape 3 Points, artisanal fishers supply 80% of the fish we eat. One aspect of the fish processing is more dangerous than all the others, according to experts: the smoking of the fish to preserve them for sale. This job falls exclusively to women. As Prince Owusu Asiedu found when he visited the coastal Accra community of Jamestown. In this collaboration with New Narratives, the health impacts are causing harm to the women who do it. On a recent morning here in Jamestown, the scent of the fish fills the air, and the sound of seagulls echoes through the skies as men, women and children pull boats ashore and sort a mountain of fish. Abigail is the third generation of women in her family who have done this work, but she may be the last. Abigail has watched the toll the smoke has taken on her mother, Mansa Tete's health over the last 30 years.
What mommy me? Because of last week, any be a war, but she heko. I may would you fan wa me. I may him barmena. Casibina and I make a televia no chumomi. I when I may own Casibini Mosumone charm and a charm.
Abigail says after 30 years smoking fish, the signs of her mother's suffering were clear: red eyes and blurred vision, a persistent cough, chest pains and sleepless nights.
What be no be, what's have no be, or would Jan William Bona? How can you what the Molai can be a Levania Fetamino or TD in Dan Joe, me, be an infame in a can, call not to form back.
Abigail's mother was admitted to Kolebu Teaching Hospital in Accra with a severe case of malaria that had taken hold of her weakened body. Abigail remembers those agonizing days.
Kolebu, Benny, be a Jamestown where you are Hela Fail and you're serious, Kolebu, or Kolebu on my hospital, cannot fear no Cashibe charm.
Mansa Tete is one of thousands of Ghanaian women who are suffering from the health impacts of smoking fish. Smoking is a vital part of the fishing industry, taking fresh fish from the sea and preserving it without the need for refrigeration. As much as 90% of the fish Ghanaians eat is smoked. But the traditional way of smoking fish over firewood, in metal drums or mud stoves, exposes women to a range of health problems, from respiratory illnesses to eye irritations and headaches. Doctors say it can cause cancer and make health problems such as tetanus, malaria life-threatening. It's not just killing Ghanaians. Researchers estimate that there are 6 million fish smoking ovens in West Africa alone. None of this is news to the women here in Jamestown. The situation is dire. In Jamestown alone, around 150 fishmongers out of a nationwide total of 170,000 are grappling with the effects of air pollution caused by their work, says the Fishmongers at Jamestown and Fish and Processing Traders Association here. It's not just the women who face the smoke. They expose unborn children when pregnant and children and babies who are with them when they work. The lungs of children and small babies are even less able to deal with the pollutants. Doctors warn that children exposed to smoke can suffer asthma and issues with brain development. The women know this too, according to this mother. It is a constant story here. All the women I speak with say they know the dangers. They would leave the job if they could get an alternative way of making money.
Lion work a shall be a first or wing me. Last week, first or wing me. One I go like a Jane. Nicola, quality me a few more red go green. Ona, I love a few soon. Kajana.
Gonna cover that basin again. No, I call short to no tole. She covered that because she knew to the cabin of Moye, Bear, Tobo Becca Fenaka, Bogoma Bandu Pure Tafe, such as Muno, the Mono, the Moon, and no, I know, Babo, no.
A shabby. And I'm doing it to I meant my that's for an old Diago. It's all pet so, and I am initiating it with you. I didn't, but me try and to tell Obiano no bedin. And Papa so a duma and see I'm the neighbor. I mean, Obi bedin and can make my Janny Panama. I was sure, but me no be no bed shred. And say I am the neighbor a duma soon. Come in, but as she called me now, Ubre, but I will duma and to me die to watch.
The implications are grave, not only for the present, but for the future generations as well. But health experts say there are ways for women to reduce their risk. Women are urged to reduce the time they spend with the smoke, to smoke outdoors with ventilation where possible, and to keep babies and children away from the smoke. Dr. Amwa also urges families to buy improved smoke stoves, now accessible in local markets, to further reduce exposure. As we reflect on the challenges faced by our fishmongers, let's remember the silent struggle against the smoke. This story sheds light on a hidden peril, a reminder that progress should never come at the cost of health. From the shores of Jamestown, let's join hands in supporting these resilient fishmongers on their journey towards safer and more sustainable practices. Join us next time on Life's Twists and Turns for more stories that explore the human spirit's unyielding strength.
Deputy Director in charge of the Climate Change Department at the Environmental Protection Agency, Dr. Entry Amoa, says women can reduce their exposure to the associated health risks by using smoke-free stoves, among other options. He joins us live via Zoom with more. Grateful for your time, sir. The impact of this processing method goes beyond the women engaged in it. How about the environment in general? Hello, sir.
Hello?
Yes, I'm grateful for your time. I'm asking about the impact of this processing method on the environment in general.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. So basically, the processing uses biomass, what we call fuel wood. And this fuel would actually, depending on the amount that is being used, emits smoke. And the smoke also has some elements. Some of them are particulate matter, others are carbons, especially carbon monoxide, that are harmful to the environment and then also to human health. And so, yes, because of the processing mechanisms, the impact on the environment is negative. And then also the impact on human beings' health is also negative.
To what extent should the community in which these processing happens be concerned, and what can be done to reduce or mitigate the effect?
I think the first thing is there are two levels of approach. One is about awareness, so that the people who are there doing the activity, they themselves, because it's their livelihood, they don't have to accept, or they don't want to accept the fact that it is bad for their health, because they keep on giving you stories or maybe narratives that, oh, our mothers, our forefathers have been doing this work for a very long time, and they lived longer. That is their impression, which is never true. And so we need to probably create awareness with maybe evidence of the implications. Second level has to do with the activity that they do itself, maybe the design of the facility. We can make the technology a bit cleaner, so that an improved technology that will divert the smoke from affecting the people directly, and then maybe diverting it to somewhere else. Of course, it also has implications on the environment, but to the human health, it is positive, because in this case, there's a chimney created where the smoke is diverted from the environment. In that case, we can be able to reduce the implications. I'm saying this because the studies that I did at Mori and then Elmina, there were two types of design. There was one that we used improved stoves. We measured the level of carbon monoxide and particulate matter that are emitted. And then we also did a design that it is open like the one that you are showing, which is just a normal design. And that one also faces them directly. So the levels of this type of design was more than 3 times compared to the improved cook stove. So it's important to also calculate from that angle.
Doc, how do we deal with this local perception? Because you know that, I mean, it's an old age tradition and people feel that this is really the only way we know. And how do we now make them understand the best way of processing and preserving fish for the buy market?
Okay, so for example, I measured for the to the smoke. Also, I measured how it affects their lungs and their hearts, and then also how it also affects their they get a lot of headache and so on and so forth. So they themselves were giving us feedbacks that were reported, apart from the data that was collected with gadgets. They gave us implications that they are not feeling well, they feel dizzy, the eye itches, and so on and so forth. So we may have to maybe use their own assessment as the education point, so that we can start the education from there, trying to let them understand the implications that this could have long term. Maybe when they are young, they might not see the need, but once they grow older, I think, coupled with some biological effects, this can be what escalated. And this is where probably we can start looking at it from.
Dr. Ntramo, I'm grateful for your time. He's Deputy Director in charge of Climate Change.